Since you wrote and produced When the Bell Rings, tell me about the character that you play and about the play overall.
The character that I play is Miss Boucher, and it started out that I was not Miss Boucher. I was actually Mrs. Locke because I wanted a smaller role so that I could spend more time directing. And the young lady who played Mrs. Boucher, I said I was going to be her understudy. So then something came up with her job and she began to travel more, so of course I had to be Miss Boucher. And I ended up having more fun with the role than I thought I would, even though I wrote the character as a very funny, person who still could bring a message. Miss Boucher has transformed into something else. She's funny, she can be lame sometimes, and she tries to be hip, of course, to keep up with the other students in the classroom. So she's a very strong person when she needs to be. She's a leader in the classroom when she needs to be. She's in love with the principal of the school, but she just does not know how to tell this man. So the kids at first look at her as someone kind of strange, but then when they get used to her and see what it is that she's trying to do, in their lives, they accept her in, and they're happy when she's happy. And the end result of the play, you can really see, the change in each of them, and it brings her character to life even more. To see that they finally get it.
Now, for anyone that's coming that has not seen the play, what is it that you would say to them or would want them to get out of the play when they do come to see it?
Well, I encourage parents, when I send out invitations for people to come to the production, I encourage parents to bring their children, because a lot of times our parents do not know how to communicate, with their children. There's some things that they rather just not talk about. They'll push them under the rug. They'll let the kids learn it, outside of the home, which is not always the best answer, because you find out in the end that it was the wrong thing to do when they get it from outside of the home. So when I extend my invitations, I send it out to pastors, people in the community that, kids look up to, teachers, youth groups. I always make sure that they know it's important to bring the kids out. And parents, please don't just send your kids with, the youth ministry or whatnot. Bring your kids out, because on the ride home is when you'll be able to see if your child is affected by anything, because it opens the door of communication for them. Who do you think you most related to in the play, and different things like that, or what did you think when this happened in the play, or how would you act if that was you? And that's what I really, really wanted people to get from it, an open door of communication, because sometimes it's hard to talk to teenagers about homosexuality and domestic violence relationships that they are truthfully really in 2009. They go through so much.
Schelle, being the director and the writer of Before the Bell Rings, tell me personally, how has it affected you?
Well, I work with the youth ministry at my church, and of course I have a daughter that's a teenager, and I have a 7-year-old, so it's important for me to make sure that they are getting the right message. And a lot of times kids can't talk to their parents, no matter how much we yearn for them to bring all their problems to us. It's important to me that children know God. It's important to me that they know that they can trust someone other than their parents to take things to that they think that they cannot go to their parents with. And that's why Ms. Boucher's character is important, because some of the cast that are in the production, they can't go to their parents. And they can't say, Mom, I'm dealing with self-esteem, because parents, they brush it off, they ignore it some of the times. But if you have that one person that you think you can trust and go to as an adult, then they need to know that there is someone else out there for them. The kids are now growing up in a day and age where so much is happening. They're growing up so fast. They want to be adults so fast. But I tell my daughter, if you know, like I know, you'll stay a child for a very long time. As a matter of fact, let me show you this light bill. You want to get on that? Exactly. So just, stay a child, enjoy your youth, and please, develop a personal relationship with God. That is so important.
And I'm sure, personally, it probably does your heart good when parents come up to you after the play and, are thanking you for the play.
It's so overwhelming sometimes, because some parents or people that have attended the show, they come up and they're thanking you, and some of them are crying, and it's like, okay, you're hugging them, and I'm an emotional person.
Right.
So if someone is crying in front of me, I'm standing there trying not to cry. I'm like, what's wrong? And it's, thank you. You know, you don't know how you touch my daughter's life. You don't know, how you touch my son's life. That was our situation. And I don't know these people, but when kids can sometimes see themselves in a different light, it's like, wow, that's me. I act like that. Oh my God, this is what I have to do to change myself. And that's what we really want our young people to do, to try to change before they become a statistic, before it's too late, before they're that teen that's pregnant with their first child, second or third child. In high school. There's so much more to life than, sex and drugs and what you see on the videos. That, enjoy life. And I tell my daughters all the time, always pray. Wake up praying, go to bed praying, in the middle of the day, just say a short prayer. God is listening. He's always listening.
Exactly.